Hello, welcome to this quick little video. My name is Allie with Amory Speaks. It is Sunday, May 3rd, 2026, and I thought, oh, there goes my light. Wonderful. There's nothing like when you try to get a video going and like all these things aren't working out correctly. Things are just not doing it. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm just not meant to do a video today. Maybe this is not the topic I'm supposed to talk about. And yet a little voice inside of me says, no, it is the topic. It is something you need to do today. It is a video to put out, even though it's not coming out correctly, even though the lighting is crazy. I have the weird pink astral background going on with my silly MacBook. Terrible camera that's, I think, dying. I'm not really sure, but so please excuse the crappy quality and this kind of fumbling beginning, but I think I'm gonna just leave it and keep it going. My little message for today is God, goodness, and forgiveness are for everyone. And I don't know, like people sometimes say this in videos, like, I don't know who needs to hear this, or I don't know who this is for. I need to hear it. It's for me. It bubbles up within the self because you yourself really need to hear it, or selves within you need to hear it. But I also understand how selves out there are a grand reflection of me, and so in the hopes of helping others to feel wanted, a part of the whole, unified, and also hoping that others who are feeling divisive and segregated could get a little crack in their cage or in their bubble, to just give a reminder of base truth, of foundation, that there is a point of centrality and neutrality in the middle where we all belong, where we all came from, we're all destined to be a part of, and that we'll all return to, and it will all make sense at that point. It will all come together, and we will see that there is integrated purpose in the whole. I do believe that this place and space is a portion of area of created reality in which we have a chance to push back on these things, test these things, to fully embrace what free will, what will, power, and power of choice is really all about, in this kind of polarized duality, under this filter of that. And it can be easy to get caught up in all of these sort of different sections of communities, and think that we have to go and find the right one for us, or worse yet, just pick one and force yourself to be a part of it. I get it as a more of an isolated individual that I am. I see and I feel the want of community, of wanting to be surrounded by people who have a similar perspectives or beliefs and values, but at the end of the day, I mean, all of humanity, we have the same values. We truly do. I really believe this at the bottom of my soul, that every person out there really wants the same things. They want pursuit of happiness. They want to feel safe and secure. They want to be loved. They want to have purpose and be of purpose. And they want to impact and be impacted by the whole, the community, the external world. And I think all of these desires really bubble up and are spawned from God, from Source, in order to bring us closer together. in remembrance of the oneness, of the whole. So how can we really understand that that's the foundation, that's the ground floor that everything is built off of? And then somehow we've gotten out into all of these deviations that are so exclusive and are so rigid in their formation and in their structuring. To me, that speaks back that it is further away from the truth, not going closer to a truth, because the truth is central. The truth is inside of each one of us, just like Jesus said the kingdom is within. Just like Buddha says, go within. All of these, it doesn't matter which Girl Scout badge you think you're wearing. They all hail the same creator. They all are a part of the same whole. And trying to have these gated off, sectioned out bubble communities formed within the whole, I get it. It has impressionable importance in some modalities, from some proximities, and in some set settings. But the overall average point should really be all inclusive, not segregated. And a lot of people, so many people are really bolstered up in segregation and thinking that they have the one truth the right way, thinking that, and people get so egotistical and self-righteous in this standing, like they have the key to the afterlife, they have some key to heaven, they have met some kind of requirement that other people out here haven't yet, because they haven't seen with their eyes that person do the same exact incremental instructions and follow the same gates to their form of, the key, the way through. To me, infinite creator, God source, outside the construct, is a part of everything within the construct. And so it seems quite silly, it seems counterproductive, and negatively aligned to try to say that one portion of the whole is better than or most important than other slices. It's like if you have a pie graph, it doesn't matter how small or how large each section of that pie graph is sliced. If you take any one of them out, it's not whole anymore. And just like you take the whole and you slice it into sections, no one section is the whole. Doesn't work that way. If instead what we could do is remember to be a part of the whole, I think that would be time much better spent, honestly. So, meaning to say here that I truly believe that no matter what you call God, no matter what you envision or which path you take to the Father, or source, or the creator of the universe, it's all the same, because it's all the outline of the whole. It's all that same entirety. And the entirety, the whole, it recognizes every point within it. That's like saying, to me, this is, like saying the whole is a circle. To get to God is to be the diameter from here to here, from side to side, is the action or the movement, the space created in order for conscious mind, singular person, to gain the knowledge of God, to meet God, so to speak. And God knows you can slice that diameter in any direction, any degree that you choose within that whole 360 degrees. You are still doing the thing. You're still meeting him. You're still getting the job done. And here we are arguing, well, the diameter is from this way to that way only. It's not across this way. It's not up and down. It's this specific 33 degrees across. It's no. God sees every degree, and he appreciates every single one of them. And nobody gets there faster. Nobody gets there better. Nobody has a more clean cut diameter than anyone else. Same thing with language. Same thing, it's like God lives outside of man's constructed languages. Sorry if you really believe that a single word, letters, define God, have a key to speak to him. He's listening for a specific version of man's created language in order to answer you or in order to recognize you. That, to me, is so ridiculous. That's like saying a mother doesn't understand a baby's babbling. She can only understand them when they start to actually form real words. No. There is expression of communication that happens on every other level than just speech. And also, it's not defined by pronunciation or context or, pattern of recognition. There's something deeper, grander, and way bigger than man's created anything. And to me, it's just laughable when people think, oh, this is the right name for God. This is the wrong name for God. Oh, this one's demonic. Oh, this one's the devil. Sorry if you haven't figured it out yet. If you're watching devil egregore, if you're watching Yahweh, if you're listening to any of these, Lucifer, Jesus, any of these names, they'll turn every single one of them around to benefit their own so-called enemy, to create polarity on purpose, to keep themselves feeling self-righteous and in place of the right golden key to God. They'll create an enemy anywhere. They have to, in fact, in order to justify and confirm falsely that their pedestal is correct, that their key works, that their sword slays the one bad guy, and that they are known for being the sword holder, and it's their recognition that gets to live on forever, that they did that thing. Like, you can't hear the falsity in that. How are we allowing ourselves to get wrapped up in that kind of thing? God hears everything, and the things unsaid. The things that are unsaid are more said and more heard and louder to God, source, creator, than anything that you could ever verbalize, that anything we've ever chosen to give some kind of label or language to. There's deeper, initial, original communications, and those are what actually matter. Those are what are heard by God. And each one of us is fluent in that language in our own natural, organic way, becomes speaking it just as a baby. We are birthed into it. The things like language, those are placed on top of us. Those are stenciled over original place setting. And it all has purpose. And so I don't think that any saying of words in a specific way is like God sitting there listening to hear, oh, who's going to actually say my thing the right way? Who's going to pronounce it correctly? And that one person I'm going to go down to or bring up to me. To me, that is a negatively aligned construct. That is pushing out personification that man created onto the great creator of all things. That's one finite subsection of infinity trying to tell infinity what it can be all encompassing of, what it is. It's like finite piece, you're only available because infinity chose to segregate and give you a sacred boundary in the first place. So how dare you try to go back at infinity and tell it what it's allowed to contain, what it's all about? Like, you think you know? You're one number out of all numbers. It's not fair that you could then say you know how to count 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. It's like, these are man-made constructs. The world, reality, we, organic, is creator. God, source, infinite creators, construct created. We don't know the boundaries. We don't know the parameters. We are created within the creation. So why would we start to pretend that we know, or we could ever have access to? Like, we're using the user interface, the front-facing code. Users don't have access or capability or understanding about how to get to that code behind. It's not part of the user experience to see the back end. Now, we have people who pretend they want to see the back end, people who act like they've been there, or that they're coders or reality hackers, or, that they speak for God. But for me, I will not compromise in this. I don't believe that. It's a one-way street. Yes, we can create communication and have a place and space of communion offered to God's source into the creation, to where God can come into the creation through our union, through our acceptance and our invitation. But you're not going out there anywhere. Just like, sorry, we're not going off the planet anywhere. It's not what the construct is built for. It's not part of the code. So, yeah. The other portion of this sort of thing that comes around that I started off saying with this, God, goodness, and forgiveness are for everyone. And so when we start to realize these misconceptions, when we start to understand what the construct really is, and what we're here to be a part of, and to be within it and of it, there comes through the goodness, in the goodness in the creation, and understanding that we are created to be a part of that. Every single one of us, every biosphere, every life form, every season is part of the purpose. It is part of the organic design. And it does and was rooted in good, positive, benevolent, all loving, unconditional love. All seeing and understanding brought forth into this creation. And forgiveness is for everyone. It doesn't matter whether or not they subscribe to what you think forgiveness is or goodness is, because we are in fact tainted and wearing these heavy sunglasses around, seeing the world in the way that we see them, based on an accumulation of scenarios and thoughts and ideologies and stuff. But God sees the world without any of that. And if we could join together in this understanding, in this sort of good space of neutrality, in this central point to where everyone is actually trying to operate from goodness, everyone actually has a role in the whole truth, everyone is actually a part of the whole, then why would we want to hold off forgiveness from another? Just like, why would we want to feel unforgiven ourselves? There's no hope, there's no pleasurability, there's no positivity in this concept of damnation, this concept of too far gone, of evil, of bad, of tainted in a way that is unchangeable. Because everything changes, everything moves and shifts. That's the rules within the one truth of the wholeness. So the second that we withhold forgiveness from ourselves or from another, we are perpetuating this poor cycle and these lies and untruths, and then wondering, why we can't get anywhere. It makes no sense. It's like everyone is asking for Jesus Christ to return. Everyone is asking for world peace. Everyone is asking for everyone to get together on the same page and stop fighting, or stop ruining the planet, or stop ruining each other's lives. And yet everyone has this already scraped out area where they believe is the center, as close to the center as they're going to go, and everybody else is going to meet at this point that they've designated is the central point. And it's still not. It's still within their bubble of comfortability. It's not all inclusive. It still says, well, I was closer to the truth than everybody else, so come on, come tell me I'm right and you are wrong. But feel good about it. I feel good about it. You're forgiven and I'm forgiven. And it's just like, to me, it doesn't work. That's not right. That's not right. That's not real. People will throw, and I, of course, I say people, but there's, subsections of my own mind and thought processes that say, to these concepts, some people do deserve to be in hell or tortured. Some people do deserve bad things to happen, and they've done really bad things. Some people don't deserve to be forgiven. And yeah, I hear those comments, and sometimes they feel really sparkly. They feel really like, yes, oh yeah. But as soon as I try to bring them into my heart, try to feel truth in them, try to place myself and say, okay, person that doesn't deserve forgiveness, okay, murderer, okay, rapist, I put my face. We're all extensions of each other. We're all reflections of the same self. And I say to myself, well, I have done plenty of things that have wronged others, have hurt others, have taken something from another, have infringed and pushed myself into another's, personal space or privacy in a multitude of ways over the years, on purpose and unconsciously, and do I really feel like I should be held in those past versions of myself in a situation of a bad decision I made, and now my entire life has to be forced to reflect this one action, this one scenario? I don't find that that's fair. I don't feel like, yeah, that feels good. Like, yeah, that's right. It's like, and I've been through hard things in my life. I've been through sexual abuse and trauma, and I know what it's like to have to move through these things and to feel loads of different things, but through it all, the forgiveness is the thing that felt the best, that felt right, that felt like not just a Band-Aid covering it, not just taking a pill to get it away and it will come back later, but true, real healing to the point where the scar is even gone. And you have to look around and be like, oh yeah, where did that thing happen at again? Where was that scar? You sort of remember it, but you don't. And, that true relief and release in that, and finding real healing and health and wellness is exponentially better than all of those sort of self-righteous, self-confirming, you did me wrong and I'm mad about it and I'm a victim and I need to be seen as this way and I need other people to compensate me and tread lightly around certain subjects or something because of me, or feel a certain reminder of this like epic bad thing when they see me. It's like I can't get behind it. I feel the difference now, and it's like when you don't understand a certain equation, you don't understand a certain math process, or certain operations are done in a certain way. Like if you don't know the order of operations, so to speak, and you try to do the math problem, and I mean, you might do the functions of the math problem correct, but you're going to get the wrong answer, or the answer isn't going to be right or feel right because you didn't follow the actual operation orders. And that's what it felt like to me. Like I kept like cramming along on these things, but always coming out to an answer that just didn't feel right. And then finally, when I said forgiveness across the board, I forgive myself, I forgive everyone, all of a sudden, like, I feel like I had the right answer. And I felt like I feel good about this. And then it became so simple and obvious to the sequential steps that need to be taken each time that I'm not going to go back to my own way of trying to do it, and it is something larger than us. It is something that you need to have connection to God, to source, to spirit, to before and after, to whatever you want to call that. You have to have a deep connection and knowing to that, to pass that kind of stuff up to it, to understand that you don't make the judgments. You don't call what is right and wrong. You have a minimal peephole perspective of the great panorama of what's actually happening. So instead of trying to say what the whole picture's about just by this little area that you can see, instead relinquishing that and saying, oh, right, God, I don't see the whole picture. You do. Let me let go of all of these preconceptions, assumptions, emotions, and up to you. And when we do this, it's like you remember, your place in space, and that you don't see the whole picture, and it's a great point of comfort, and it really helps so much, I think. So I will say, I think everyone deserves forgiveness. I think even, as I had kind of gotten off on an angle before, but I think even if there is a Lucifer or an Ahriman, if there is these egregorical creations of absolute negativity out there, they even deserve forgiveness. They have a source connection to the Great Father, to Source Creator, that was rightfully bestowed upon them by God. They are just a subsection of the whole slice of the pie, just like we are, just like I am. And I think at the end of the day, at the end of time, at the end of the entire experience, that just like each one of us is forgiven, that being, that thing is forgiven as well. Because none of it matters. This is a construct created to see what worse things could happen. What ifs? It's not the templistic, organic design of God's best will, the best plan ever. That sits untouched and golden aside as the the original. This is the shadow area cast down in order to try out all of the other potentialities, in order to get everyone to understand that the original template is the best case scenario. It is the one that works. It is that whole perfection, but we have a chance to say, well, maybe it's not, I think we will all find that it's true at the end, but in the maybe it's not time where we're at, this exploration of manyness, in order to try to create as best as we can, we're finding out that we don't create that well, actually. And that when the times that we do create well, or the times that things turn out well, is actually those times that we're deeply connected to God, where we're listening to that ultimate plan, where we're remembering that original picture, or golden idea or God's will, and allowing that great memory to bubble up within us and lead the way, to call us back towards it. I think that is all inclusive, and it's for everyone. So yeah, that's my long morning rant. I thought it was going to be quick. I thought it was going to be just something I would just say point blank. God is for everyone. Goodness is within everyone, and forgiveness is for everyone. Everyone deserves to be forgiven, and everyone in truth is forgiven. So yeah, that's my spiel for this morning. Thanks for listening and giving me your time. I truly appreciate it, and I hope I'll see you around next time.